rounding decimals. In the real world, we don't always need to be super accurate. Now, think about when someone asks how tall you are. What could you respond with? You could respond with, I'm 170 centimeters tall. I'm 170.5 centimeters tall. 170.05 centimeters tall. 170.055 centimeters tall, and so on. And in the real world, we can only take so many decimal places because we can't measure that accurately. So if you measure yourself to be, let's say, 170.5 centimeters tall, would it be more accurate to say you're 170 centimeters or 171 centimeters if you're rounding to the nearest whole number? Well, it's been decided because 0.5 is right in the middle. Which way do we go if we want to make it a whole number? So it's been decided if it's right in the middle that we're going to round up. So this to a whole number would be 171 centimeters. And that goes the same for every decimal place that we're going to round with. Let's have a look. So if we had 170.0554 and we wanted to round this to one decimal place. So I'm going to write DP for decimal place. How do we go about it? So one decimal place means we only want one number after the decimal, after the decimal point. Now, we're interested in this number here because it's the first one after the decimal point. To know if we should round it up or leave it the same, we have to look at the next number, this one here. If that number is 5 or higher, we want to increase the one before it by 1. And in this case it is, it's 5, so that means the number before it needs to be increased by 1, and then we get rid of everything else after that, because one decimal place means we only want one number after the decimal. What if we had the exact same number, but this time we wanted to round to 2 decimal places? So 2 decimal places is going to mean we want 2 numbers after the decimal. We're going to want 2 numbers after the decimal. So for 2 decimal places, we're looking at this one here because this is the second number after the decimal point. We've got the decimal point, then we've got one number, then a second number. But to know if we should change it or keep it the same, it's all about the number after that. And if that's a 5 or higher, that means the number before it goes up by 1. And if it's a 4 or lower, it's going to stay the same. And because it's a 5, that means the number before it goes up by 1. So we get 170.06, and everything else after it goes away. Let's look at another same number, but this time we're going 3 decimal places, which means we want 3 numbers after the decimal. So since we're looking at 3 decimal places, we're looking at the third number after the decimal point and the number after that. If the number after that is 5 or higher, we increase the previous number by 1, but if not, it stays the same. So because it's not, this number is actually going to stay the same. So we get 170.055, and we get rid of everything else after that.